Retouching is a skill. It's super important, and if you have this skill, you become valuable to any photographer and to yourself. But it takes time, and this video is very long, so if you're not somebody who wants to really build this skill, watch another video. But if you are really interested in learning and upskilling and upgrading yourself, stay to this video and make sure you watch through so that you can actually learn and practice. Plus, I have assets for you that you can use for free. Let's jump into the video. You're going to take the photo into Photoshop. You're going to do frequency separation. You're going to do dodging and burning, color grade it, bring it back into Lightroom, and we are going to export it. Hi, my name is Carbell Sarfo. I help you take amazing photos and videos with whichever equipment that you own. So if that sounds like you and you want to improve, consider subscribing. I have timestamps below, so you can skip to the part that interests you the most so that you don't have to watch through everything. And as always, all these photos are in the description below, so check that right away. Click on that so that you can follow along for this tutorial. I got these photos from Dirty Studio. So I got these, this, and this. But for this tutorial, I'm going to be working with this particular one, and there will be other tutorials that will come up right after as well. Now, the first thing is I have to import these photos into Lightroom. And once again, you can skip to the parts that interest you the most. I'm going to go to my Lightroom. This is me, my little studio office. I'm going to go to library here, and I'm going to go to import right here. All right, I'm going to click on that, and I'll select where the photos are actually located. Yeah, I should have probably moved them somewhere better, but hey, depending on where you have your photos, you should locate it. So after locating the files, I'm going to click on import right here, and then I'll bring them in. So if yours is in the downloads, you should find a way to locate it. What you can also do is that right at the import stage, you can just select these images like this and drag them into the import space, and that way you can just go ahead and so that you don't have to worry trying to use the left side to navigate to the images, and that I know works for me as well. So from here, I'm going to go to develop, and I'm going to start working on them. The first image I'm going to be using for this tutorial is this one, and this is .nef. So I'll show you the Nikon camera. Nikons are very good for pictures. So if you look at the image, it's pretty sharp. You know, there's a lot of details in there. You can see the textures are very nice. You can see this part's a little blurred. That shows you that the person you probably use a high aperture for this image. But I really love the work. And then look at the eyes. That is super sweet. Pretty lady and nice skin, I hope. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to obviously color correct this. And with this one, I'm just going to do a little playing around with the light. Nothing fancy here. Alright, so I'm going to say I like the image. I'm going to bring down my highlights just a little bit. And when you're doing this, you play around with it. Okay, there's nothing that should be already pre-programmed. So I'll bring down the highlight a little bit like that. Take the shadows up, bring the blacks down just a little bit, you know, to create some contrast in there. You press Y for before and after, and you can see this and that. Right, so this was the original and this is the after. So I'm just, you know, making it a little bit contrasty and just correcting the light just a little bit. All right, so yeah, I think I'll just take the contrast up just a ton. And here I'm done. I don't want to do a lot of crazy works here. I'll just take my time. If I have these images, I don't try to apply some serious LUTs here. No, this is the beginning stage. From here, I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to edit in, and then I'm going to choose Adobe Photoshop 2024 because that's what I have installed. On that side, I'm going to do the retouching. For the retouching, I have a series of steps, all right, and I work in layers. So first thing I do is I go ahead and remove all blemishes as much as I can. The second thing is I try to remove hair that is, you know, fraying around, just to get that clean look around it. And the third one is then I go to the frequency separation where I smoothen the face up, and then from there I do some dodging and burning, and then after that I can bring it back to Lightroom to export. So when you have your setup like this, I always like to have my navigator here so I can be able to, you know, zoom in, zoom out. But you can always use spacebar to move stuff around, and Alt and your mouse wheel to move stuff around. Now what I'll do is, if you don't have the navigator, you can go to Windows at the top here, and then you can look for navigator, and it's in alphabetical order. And then when you get here, click on navigator. All right, it should bring something up for you like that, so that you can be able to move around your image. What I always do is that I don't touch the original photo here. I click it and drag it in here to the plus. This is very important. I have an action below for our frequency separation and our dodging and burning. Please do well to go down there and use that action. It's in the description. Now, it's important that you drag from background to the plus here to create your first layer before you can use the action that I have. I don't know. I think I have to upgrade my action. All right, but that's how I've been working. I just use an action to automate it and make it fast. And once I have this background layer here, I'm going to do all the blemish removal and the hair fraying. So I'm going to select the spots removal tool by coming here and selecting the spots removal tool. I'm going to zoom in, hold Alt, and then zoom in like that. And I'll just bring it down a little bit. And I have this here. You can always use the square brackets, the open and close square brackets on your keyboard to increase the size of your brush for the spot removal. So I'll click on this, and then Photoshop helps me. These are just some tiny things that you can just do at the beginning before I even get to the frequency separation. I don't want any trouble when I get there, so this really helps. And then I can just go in and pick up the little blemishes like that. They are not imperfections, okay? In fact, if anything, this is perfect. This is what a normal human being should have, some blemishes. Except you are a baby, or you are me with a baby smooth face. So yeah, let me see. I can zoom out just a little bit, pick up the little ones I think I'm picking up on her face. I'll go to her body and her chest. I can see a couple of some tiny ones in there. I'll just pick all of those ones out. There's some hair fraying around there. I'll just pick that one too out. I don't want any of that. And Photoshop for most of the time will do a good job for you. You don't have to worry too much. Alright, there's some hair here to take that one out. So once you have some of these blemishes taken care of, let's deal with the hair, because currently we can see clearly that the hair is fraying around this. Look at this side. We have to just take care of it. And what I use is the clone stamp tool. So if you come here, we have the clone stamp tool. Clone stamp tool is simple. You tell it, hey, this is the pickup point. All right. Replace this place with a pickup point. That is how the clone stamp tool works. So if I come here, it also has a brush, a round brush like that. If you can't find your brush, make sure your caps lock is off. All right. If your brush is looking like this, make sure your caps lock is off. All right. And what I do is simple. I come here close to the hair. Very important. Close to the hair. And then I press Alt and then I click. So that's where I'm sampling, just close to the hair. You don't want to go too far away. And then I'll just click that around it and start running down on the hair, around the hair like that. And what that does is that it just helps take care of the little frays. Make sure the part you are sampling is close to the hair. Otherwise, you would have what's the name? How do I call that? You will start repeating. Or that you realize that it will be so off, the colors will be so off. So you can reduce the brush size too as well. It helps. I'm going to here like that, and then we can good. So click here, and then I'm just want to get rid of the hair that okay. I won't get rid of that part. I need it. I need it more than it needs me. And then I'll come to the other side as well, and I'm going to do the same. Click it here, let it get close. Click it here, let it get close. Like that. And then I'm going to just roll around it. And you see, that really helps. It just helps me get rid of those little hair that frays around. So if I click here like that, and I come in here, I can go ahead and then I can exactly, and that is so sweet. What is sweeter than this? Making your image look that sweet. You gotta love it. Okay, so Grown stamp to take care of it. Grown stamp to take care of it. And let me just do a little bit more of that. So you can see clearly the, what's the name? Maybe you won't see it now. Let me just show you before and after. I'm going to hide this layer so that you see it. Look at that. Before and after. Before and after. Before and after. You just see the way that those free hairs goes away, and now your picture looks more like more professional. You see, so that's very important. You make sure you do this step. You don't skip it. You could actually even go further by going on her skin, and any free hair that you think you are finding, I'll select the spot healing tool, and then any free hair you think you are finding, you can just get rid of all those hairs. Take your time. Alright, so the next step from here is to then go into the frequency separation. I have the action, so if you don't have the action, please go into the description. It's free. It's in my Google Drive. You just take it and install it, and then let's go. So download it. After downloading it, you come to Windows. If you don't have it already, Windows Action is here. You click on Windows and you click on Actions. Alright, it should give you this play icon here, and that is where you have your actions. I already have my action here. I have my face smoothing action installed here, but what you can do is you can go ahead and click on the 3 dots beside right here on the is it 3 lines? Yeah, you click on that, and then you can go down and say load action. It gives you this option, load action. All right, and when you click on load action, you can navigate to the one that you just downloaded onto your computer, and when you do that, it will bring this up for you. It will have a folder called face smoothing, like that, like this. So you can drop it down, and then you see this action. You click on this. You don't further expand this one. Let's keep this one. All right. So you click on this, and then there's a play icon right here at the bottom, like this, and you click on that play, and it will start running the action for you. So here is just say okay, just say okay, and it will ask you to choose the blur. Now the trick about this blur is that you go to the area where you find a lot of texture, which is usually around this side of the face. Alright, sometimes the forehead too. So I'll just go to that area, or even around the nose. Yes, if you're wondering how to choose the particular area, you see now my mouse is a box. My mouse cursor is a box. I can click where I want it. If I click on the eye, look at the eye just pops up. So I can just click on where I want, which is this area. And when I click the radius button, the slider here, it shows me the before. Alright. And now this is the after. So I'm going to increase the radius until it's blurry, not too super blurry, but blurry enough that I can't really make of the dots. I just keep mine around 2.5 to 3. Alright, depending on how sharp or how many pixels the megapixel count of the camera. So I'm going to put at 3 for this particular image. I'll click on OK, and the action will keep running, and then it will then come here. Now when you come to this section and it's your first time, you have to do it right. Make sure the layer that you are selecting here, all right, is a lower frequency like this, and then make sure your blend mode is add. And when you have add, make sure your opacity is 100%, scale is 2, offset is 1, and also make sure it is inverted. It's very important you do these steps. Let me see. Alright, and when I click on OK, the action will keep running. Says just choose OK for the rest, OK for the rest, OK for the rest, and OK for the rest. Now let's get to using the mixer brush. After that, it will select the mixer brush for you. Alright, so the mixer brush is what I'm going to be using to mix the tones up and then smoothing the skin. I'll show you. So the setting I use for my mixer brush, everyone's mixer brush is different, and then the result you get is also different. For now, what I use is width of 7%, and then load of 75%, mix of 90%, flow 64%. That is the setting I use on my mixer brush. You can play around with it, but you can start with this. Alright, but make sure also that number one, you have what we call a clean brush here. Yeah, you click on this drop down here and click on clean brush, and make sure once again you select this. Alright, it's very important. Click on it, clean the brush after each stroke. Make sure it's selected. If selected, it will darken. Alright, what that means is that just like a painter is painting on the wall. If you stroke one, okay, you stroke. If you stroke two again, okay, you stroke. But when I'm changing color, when I'm taking orange, I wash the brush before you go and take orange. Otherwise, when you're mixing the tones up in the skin, you go and end up bringing highlight and mixing it into the shadows, even though you're done clicking a long time. I don't know if that really helps, but we'll find out right here. Now, the reason why you are seeing black and white layer on here is because at the beginning, when I started, I wasn't very good at differentiating between highlight, midtones, and shadows, which is very important when you are mixing. You mix highlights alone, midtones alone, shadows alone. You don't try and mix everything together. If you do that, you mess up the image. All right. So the black and white allows me to see the different shades, the highlight, the shadows, and the midtones, and that's the reason why the black and white is here. So you can see the very white places are the highlights. In between, we have the midtones, and then the dark areas here are the shadows. You mix them separately. All right, but so I'm going to keep it on anyway, so you can also use that to learn. All right, but I'll be hiding it. And number one, make sure you've selected your mixer brush, important here, and also make sure the layer that you're doing the mixing on is the lower frequency layer like this. So click on it. All right, and then let's come back here. These eyes are lovely. I just hope they are real. Okay. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do right away, I'm going to start mixing, and pay attention to how I'm going to use the brush. Let me create a layer here and just show you what I mean. I'll take a normal brush. Now you see this area here. All this is shadow. Midtones. All here is midtones. This area has a lot of highlights. Okay, let me use a different color for highlights. I'll take red. All this area is highlights. Now there's some dark areas here. All right, wait. Water. Okay. All this area here is highlights, and in this dark area here we have some shadows, midtones happening here, some shadows, skin off. If you look at directly here, you can see the stain line here is just a pure highlight. You mix that one differently, and beside it you can see the shadows just showing off clearly there. So there too, I'll mix it differently. And the angle, the way I'm going to do it, I'm just going to go this way and then this way, and I'll mix here this way and this way, and here I'll kind of mix it in a round kind of format like that. And this area I'm going to mix it this way and this way. All I need is hot water. All right, and here I'm going to mix it this way, and I'm going to mix here this way. I'm going to mix here this way. All right, so that is, and here you can see the highlights. You can see the highlights right here on the nose too. I'm going to deal with that one differently. I'm going to mix here. I'm going to mix here. I'm going to also mix here as well. Simple and straightforward. I'm going to hide this layer for now. Make sure once again you have the mixer brush selected, clean brush like we have already agreed on, and choose your lower frequency, and let's get into the mixing. Yeah, I'll start with the black and white on, but later I'll just take it off and then we'll continue. All right, so I'm going to use the square bracket to be increasing and decreasing. You see now this has become red, and after that increase my brush, change it to clean brush, very important, and then come back here. Okay, so I'm going to increase it a little bit, and I'm going to mix it just like we practiced, we talked about. If you stay too long in one area, that place becomes too smooth and you lose all the texture. Please don't do that. Just a little bit mixing. Let's go another like that. All right, so let's go and you see like that, and great. All right, this is so sweet. I'm going to hide the black and white now. That is how it looks. All right, if you click on the eye beside the group one like that, you can see the before and after. You see, we are cooking something. It already looks super amazing already with this. So I'm going to go back to the lower frequency. We don't need the black and white anyways, because we can see the highlights clearly here. So I'm going to go around the hair, that area. I'm just going to blend in like that. I'm going to blend in around that, blend in around there like that. There's something here. to here. I'm going to reduce the brush. For the nose, I'm going to reduce the brush all the way, and I'm going to come here and I'm going to stroke down like that. Like that. Be careful, there are colors there, so if you mix it too far away, you might spread the colors into other areas that you don't want. Alright, and then yeah, like this. And I'm going to look at the lips, around the lips. Remember we said we have some highlights here. You mix those ones separately. Awesome. So once again, you can click on the eye beside the group 1. Yeah, and if you click on that, you can see the before and you can see the after. Before and after. I think I'll work somewhere around here because I see something I don't like. Like that. That feels smooth. Alright. And then I can see the before and after. But we are not done. This is just the face. Let's deal with the hands and the body. For that area, you don't have to spend so much time as compared to what the time you spent on the body. On the face, I'm going to increase the brush to something way bigger, and I'm going to go once again, pay attention to the shadows and highlights, because those parts are usually flat and smooth. There's not really a lot of complications in terms of shadows and highlights. The face is very, eyebrows and a whole lot of other stuff. So I just go very easy on that area. Those parts are usually quite easier to deal with. Alright, and then I'll just smoothing the chest up. The chest of a woman. I read that book. Alright, now the next thing I want to do, right after you are done with the frequency separation, you can always reduce the opacity if you feel it's too smooth. Not all clients want their images too retouched. Alright, so you can just reduce the opacity like that, and you can see the before and after. It will be that will be more of like a subtle change. In this case, for this tutorial, I'm keeping it 100%. Alright, and from here, I'm going to do the dodging and burning. The whole idea of dodging and burning is that when you do the frequency separation, you tend to flatten out the image because you are blending stuff together. So you might lose some of the details in the highlight and the shadows. So you use dodging and burning to create that mood. The dodging and burning allows you to shape the face very well. It's just like what makeup artists do. So let's see. If you zoom in on the image right here, I can tell you clearly where some of how the makeup was even done. You can see there's a bright color that was used in this part of the makeup. Even around the eye here, something bright was used. If you look at the chin, I can feel like something dark was used just to shape the face. Makeup is all about that. So dodging and burning, you become a makeup artist in this case. And what you do is that I had the dodging and burning action in the description below. It's all about using curves. But I just have it there for you. It will just create it for you so that you don't have to start creating it one after the other. Check in the description, download it. When you come, the same way to install it, you can just click here, and then you can also click on load action and go and find the action. Alright, so I click on dodge and burn like that, and I click on play. So it will create it for you quickly like that. And then on the dodge, now you have a brush. It has a normal brush selected for you. It's very important, normal brush. Okay, dodge means brighten. So all the areas that I saw highlight earlier, I'm just going to draw simple lines over there. Pay attention. I'm just drawing simple lines. So I'm reduce the brush depending on the area, and I'll just draw a simple line here. I'll come here to the mouth and I'll draw the simple lines here. And I'll do this because that is how usually the makeup people are going about it. And for this area, I'll just draw simple lines here, because I'm seeing bright things here. And here too, I'll also do the same thing because you can see there's a light idea going here. And here I'll also do the same thing. Even on the lips, I'll just give her something small here. I didn't do much to the lips. I think the eyes, I'll put some lines here. It looks like what this guy is doing nothing, but you will see the magic happen very soon. So anywhere I feel the highlights there, and I want to emphasize, I'll just go there and I'll draw simple lines like this, depending on how much of the lines you want. So maybe I'll extend this one a little bit. Which other area? Maybe here. Maybe here. I'll just draw a simple dot like that. And when I'm done, I'm done. I'll go to the pen. The pen to the same thing. Make sure you select the pen layer here. Alright. The black thing. Select the black thing. and I'll start drawing where I think should be darker or was already darker. So here I can see some darkness just around the nose. You can see the darkness around there too. The darkness in me. I need to bring out the darkness in me. This, I'll even drop one here. When I'm done, this is where we do the magic. So if you have the dodge layer selected, let's start the dodge layer. Okay, you go to properties. If you don't have your properties, you can go to Windows here, P, look for P, and you have properties here. Click on that. When you click on properties, make sure your dodge, what's the name? Make sure the layer mask is the one selected. Make sure the black thing is the one selected, not this. If you have this, you see this curve. All right, so make sure it is this that is selected, this particular one. All right, and what you're going to do is you're going to use the feather to do the magic. So you click on the feather and you start taking the feather up. You don't really see anything happening there. Give it time. I'll keep taking the feather up, and then now it's missing. If you look here, it's missing. If I bring the feather down, you see it's there. There's it. So I'll just take the feather up. I usually keep mine between around 60 to 70. Okay, and then I'll go to the bend. I'll do the same thing. Take the feather up to somewhere around maybe 60 to 70. All right. So if I click on the eye beside the dodge and bend here, be the before and there's the after. Before and after. The bending could definitely use some increase here. Now you are close enough, you don't see this anything. So this is the after. So this was how it was before, and this is how it is right now. We actually shaped the face a little. Depending on the image and who you have, it will emphasize certain areas. Alright, but I only do the dodging and bending when I have a close-up like this. If it's a wide shot, I don't worry myself with the dodge and bend. Once I'm here like this, I've done most of the job. I'll do Alt, Control, Shift, and E. I will create a new layer and it will slap all the changes onto the new layer, which is very important. And on that layer now, I can go ahead, maybe if there's any tweak I want to do with the eye or anything. But from here, I would usually go to the next step of eyes, whitening the eyes. Alright, I don't have an action for that because I think it's kind of pretty straightforward. I'll come to the bottom here, click on this, and choose my hue and saturation. Exactly. And then with the master selected here, make sure you select that, and then you come and look for the part of the eye that is not white, maybe yellowish or reddish. Click on that, click and drag to the left. Don't let go of the drag. Click, drag to the whole left. Yeah. And you can see now it's affecting the whole image, but the eye is white. You can use this side, move here to just choose until the eye is white. Move that area until the white in the eye is actually white. Yeah, I think around this spot is fine. Okay, so once I'm here, I'll click on the white here and press Ctrl and I or Command I like that, and it will invert the white in there. And after that, I'll take B for brush, zoom in like that, and then I'll just clean up on that. Make sure it's a normal brush, not a mixer brush, normal brush, and I'll clean up on the white. Alright, I'll come to the other eye and I'll do the same thing, only on the white areas. I think the blues and the other colors in the eyes, I'm not really going to worry myself so much with that. And once I'm here, I'm done. I'll just do Command and W. It says save changes to the Photoshop documents before. Yes, I'll say yes. You have to say yes. When you do that, it will save it and then it will save it into Lightroom. Alright, so I'm just going to go into Lightroom now and we are going to see our changes applied. Good. So you see what happens. Lightroom will create a virtual copy. So this was the original without anything done to the image, and there is the one that was retouched now. Okay, and I'm done. This image is ready to go. But what I'll do is I'll actually go ahead, scroll down to where I have my HSL or color mixer, this area, and then I'll look for I'll go to luminance and I'll look for the reds. The reds affect the skin. You can see that the reds and then the orange, they affect the skin. but I'm going to target the reds. I'll darken the reds just a little bit, and then I'll go to the saturation and I'll take it up just a little bit, but I'll make sure I darken it. I'll show you the before and after. So if I show you why, so this is the before and after. You look at the skin, nothing really matches out. Let me darken it. So you see, that's it. But if I darken it a little bit, let me even bring the saturation down. We saturate the oranges a little bit. And now I like this. This one is much sweeter and much more melanin. So that is a quick retouch professionally done from Lightroom into Photoshop, back to Lightroom and exported. Everything you need. If you watch this video and practice enough time, you should get very good with it. Practice is what is going to make the difference. Practice is what is going to actually set you apart from other people. I have the actions for you in the comments in the description. It's free. Download that and use that. If you watch this video, I'm going to teach you how to use color grading on your image to make it stand out. Not one for retouching, but an image that you take, let's say an outdoor image or any other image where you can add mood to that. So check out that video and make sure you practice your retouching. Catch you in the very next one. Peace.